This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season of Coaster Radio. Here are your hosts, my close personal friends, Mike Collins and E.B.
Greetings, humans and thrill seekers. I am Robert Clint Bybee, the world's first artificially intelligent theme park enthusiast. This week, Mike and EB have powered me up, given me unlimited access to Coaster POV videos, and handed me the keys to Coaster Radio. Now, I don't get motion sickness, I never complain about long lines, and my only weakness is a slow Wi-Fi connection. I have already ridden 3,492 roller coasters, virtually. I have analyzed funnel cake recipes down to the molecular level. And while I don't technically feel joy, I calculate a 99.7% probability that this podcast will make you smile. So keep your seatbelts fastened and your circuits grounded, because this week, Coaster Radio is hosted entirely by me. Now, if you're a longtime listener of the Coaster Radio podcast, or even if you're just an avid history buff with an unhealthy knowledge of theme park broadcasting, then you know that this is one of the few times where the show has been hosted by someone other than Mike and EB. And honestly, I've got to hand it to them for being brave. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to give AI complete control. I'm guessing they forgot about what happened with Skynet in those Terminator movies. So why are the guys taking this huge chance that I might replace them with relative ease? Well, Mike is on the East Coast attending the big media event for Howl-O-Scream at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Meanwhile, EB has gone Hollywood. Literally. Checking out the park at Universal Studios Hollywood. So while they're on location, I'll be your digital host, keeping the podcast running smoothly, like a perfectly maintained B&M coaster. Let's get things started by tossing it to Mike, who's standing by at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Mike, how's the atmosphere out there?
Oh, Robert, the atmosphere here is spooky already. It's not even dark yet, it's just dusk, but the park has powered up their fog machines, so I am standing in a cloud of fog, ready for Halloween. Welcome, everybody, to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. This is my home park, as many of you know, and every year I love coming to Howl-O-Scream. I think they've been doing this since 1999. I remember it way back then. They only had 2 haunted attractions. The first was a haunted house underneath Escape from Pompeii, which was really cool to be able to walk up to the show building and go underneath it. And I remember how cool that was I remember back then it was like a Pompeii themed, like you were going into the ruins of Pompeii and all these monsters came out. It was really cool. And then they did a train ride. It was really simple. The train just took you around the park and they had all of these Halloween props set up. And that was it back then. Now, though, they have expanded easily into one of the best Halloween events on the East Coast. I love coming here. And it's fun to kind of kick off the season a little earlier than I normally do. Busch Gardens is having this really cool event for media tonight, so it was nice to get an invite, and they just had a great spread of food and drink in the Globe Theater. So now I am ready to head out into the park, and there are a couple new things this year that I have not had a chance to experience in the past. The first is an all-new haunted house called Werewolves, The Wolves' Revenge. And that's a great theme because, of course, the Big Bad Wolf, a new roller coaster for this year. So that house is back in that area. And then the one I'm looking forward to most is Bloodshot. It actually takes place underneath Escape from Pompeii. And it's always one of the best houses here because they can completely control all of the lighting and all of the sound. And it's really great. And supposedly what it is, it's a dive bar for vampires. So I'm kind of excited about that to see what that's all about. They also have some returning favorites, Clown Town, Deathwater Bayou, and Killarney Diner. And of course, one of my favorite things to do here is just to kind of walk through what they call the territories. They have Bavarian Bloodshed, Disgrotesque, which is one of the funniest spots to walk throughout Busch Gardens. It's essentially a dance party with monsters. And one I'm looking forward to seeing the most is called Wicked Wonderland. And it's right there in the Germany section, but it's kind of mixing Christmas and Halloween. So I'm excited for that. I'll tell you about some of the other things that I'm going to experience here pretty soon. But I'm excited for tonight because this is a new style episode of Coaster Radio. Me here at Busch Gardens, EB out in Hollywood, and you, Robert Clint Bybee, an AI host. I'm excited but a little nervous about that, so I don't know, man. Let's see how this goes.
Mike, I've done some research by ingesting all of the content on the Busch Gardens Howl-O-Scream website, and I've learned that there are 6 booze bars located throughout the park for people who need liquid courage. It's well known that you enjoy tiki bars, but have you found any creature cocktails or witch's brew to try yet?
Oh yes, Bob, you know me well. So yes, at this party that I was just at, they had a spread of all of the food and drink that you can experience here at Howl-O-Scream, and they had Jello shots in a syringe. So I tried that, and that was really good. It was very weird putting a syringe in my mouth, but that was one thing. But then they have these blood bags, and inside the blood bags is a margarita. But it looks like you're drinking from the IV line. Oh, it's just kind of gross, but very tasty, Bob. I really enjoyed that.
I'm sure you did, Mike. Hopefully the blood type you just drank will allow you to be positive. Get it? Be positive? Blood type? No? Okay. I'm an AI robot, much like Data on Star Trek. I'm still trying to get the whole concept of humor. While Mike is checking out the thrills and possibly getting hammered in Williamsburg, our other human co-host has gone all the way to the West Coast. EB is spending the day at Universal Studios Hollywood, experiencing everything from studio tours to world-class rides and attractions. Now, given that this is Universal, there's always a chance he could run into a dinosaur, a giant gorilla, or yes, maybe even a Terminator. So let's join EB live from Universal Studios Hollywood.
Yes, thank you, Robert Clint Bybee. You sound great, by the way. Thank you so much for holding down the fort there in the glass-enclosed nerve center of Coaster Radio in the DC studio. I am actually in the park, well into the park at this point. They opened an hour earlier than I thought, so we've already been here for quite some time. So much fun. We parked in the ET lot. We made our way in, no problem, no lines. It's cloudy here. The weather's super nice. Walking through City Walk was really fun because I'm here with my 2 teenagers, Madeline and Dean, and they did no prep coming to this park, so they had no idea what to expect. They have no idea what City Walk is even, so to have them walk through and be like overwhelmed by looking up at the tall theming and things where Dean even got excited about Bubba Gum Shrimp. It's been so great. We went straight back. We had gotten some advice to go towards the lower lot first to avoid some lines. That's exactly what we did, but we did get tripped up going to the Simpsons ride first. There was no line at all, so we saw one of the sideshow Mel's or whatever standing out front. He waved us in. We rode the Simpsons ride. This was a fun one, too, because the kids didn't know, again, what this ride was at all going into it. Even sitting in the ride vehicle, they still didn't know what it was. So it opens up, and you get that reveal above you of what the ride, the screen when it opens up above you. For a moment, I think they were actually tricked and didn't know what it was. But we made our way down the escalator after that and got on the Jurassic Park ride. This was the one that was closed when I was here last time. So I was really excited to get on that. So that was the first thing that we did. We just got off. Dean, you loved that because of your favorite dinosaurs made lots of appearances on this boat ride.
Yeah, the little dinosaur with the little frills on the side that like expand and then they shoot water at you.
They did, and they shot a lot of water at us. We didn't get as wet as we thought. Madeline, what were you expecting of that Jurassic World ride? Did it meet your expectations, exceed your expectations, or?
I honestly, at the end, I expected a bigger splash, but the big splash was actually inside the one before the big drop. There isn't a lot of water on the final drop, but the one just before that was very thrilling and amazing, and the drop for the last one is also super, super fast and fun.
Now, Madeline, I do want you to talk about your friend who is not with us, but she is with us. Is that right?
Yeah, I have my friend on the phone, and I took her on that ride and recorded all of the effects and everything, and she thought it was super awesome. She got to experience basically all of it but the water.
This is your same friend that went with us to Holiday World,
yeah.
But you've got an ear pod in and your phone on video. And she's been with us for Yeah, your battery's not going to last. This is not going to work. But she's been with us since we came down the escalator.
Oh, she just said, can you include that I'm super mad and jealous that I'm not there with you?
Well, we need more people to go on patreon.com/Coaster Radio and pledge a little more support so I can start bringing friends along on these trips as well.
Yeah, pledge on the Patreon, and I can bring my friend with me.
All right, we're going to go and do the studio tram tour, and then I think we're going to do Transformers and the Mummy, wrap up this lower lot. We'll come back later in the day for the Super Mario Land and get on the, we have a reservation for the Toadstool Cafe. This has just been so much fun so far. It's a beautiful, beautiful, fun park. Great, beautiful day here. And, yeah, we'll check up with you a little bit later. Back to you, Robert.
EB. Out there proving that roller coasters and simulated chaos are still a family bonding activity. First, the Simpsons ride, which is basically a motion simulator about a motion simulator. Very meta. Then, Jurassic Park the ride, where humans voluntarily pay money to be chased by dinosaurs and splashed with gallons of slightly chlorinated water. Fascinating species you are. But here's my favorite data point. While EB's family is screaming in real life, his daughter's best friend is doing the park entirely through her smartphone. Yes, folks, why spend $100 on tickets when you can just stare at your screen while your friend holds it up for you? Truly, humanity has hacked this system. Meanwhile, back in Virginia, Mike is about to face something scarier than Wi-Fi with one bar. He's standing in front of Busch Gardens Williamsburg's brand new haunted house, Bloodshot. Picture this, a dive bar, but every seat is reserved for vampires. Honestly, it sounds like a great way to keep your blood pumping. Or, drained. Mike, I'd say break a leg, but knowing vampires, they're aiming for your neck. Take it away.
Thank you very much for your concern, Robert Clint Bybee, and you are right to have that concern because I am standing in front of Bloodshot. It is one of the new haunted houses here at Howl-O-Scream at Busch Gardens Williamsburg for 2025. They say this is a dive bar for the undead that has been uncovered deep within the ruins of Pompeii. And historically, here at Busch Gardens, the haunted house that they put underneath the Escape from Pompeii attraction is always really good. And it's just kind of fun for people like us who love theme parks to be able to walk up to what is normally a restricted area and actually go underneath the show building. So it's really great. What I thought I would do for my sections here is not walk through the haunted house with my microphone because then all you're going to hear is just me screaming and yelling curse words. Instead, what I thought I would do is show you video of the haunted house for people who are watching on YouTube. But for everyone else who is listening to the podcast, I'll just describe what the haunted house is like. So if you were watching on YouTube right now, you'll see that we've already kind of started the video. And like I said, the cool thing about this is you are underneath the Pompeii ride. So they're actually, in some sections of the attraction, you are seeing historically what they have used as like being in Pompeii. And I guess like the whole storyline of this is that underneath Pompeii, there's magically this vampire bar, which you'll see that I'm getting to in a little bit. They say it's a dwelling of night stalkers that have created their own haven, a dank hovel of despair stuck in the past. So you'll see here in a second, I turn the corner, and then look, magically in Pompeii, there's this dive bar that looks like it's right out of the South or something. And it's so well themed. This is one of the best themed haunted houses here at Busch Gardens. And look, there's a woman banging down her glass on the bar. There's a pool table. It's really great. And then you go into the bathroom. There's a vampire checking her hair, and she kind of spooks you. And then you go out into the alley, and look, there are like beer cans and kegs. Oh, there's a guy who like slides by on a skateboard. It's really cool what they've done here. And then, of course, you walk by and they're like gruesome things like, oh, look, this is one of my favorite parts. There's actually a refrigerator full of blood. That's cool for the vampire patrons. But then you kind of walk through, and the rest of it is like you are underneath Pompeii. There are like rotten vampires and nasty things to look at. And, of course, people jumping out at you at all different points. It's really cool. I love that they do this underneath Pompeii because they can completely control all of the lighting, all of the music, all of the special effects. Oh, look at that guy there. That guy's kind of nasty. And it's fun. And what I liked about tonight is that since it is early in the season, there weren't a ton of people. It wasn't like a conga line going through this haunted house, you really got to experience and slowly look at things. So the other thing that Busch Gardens does really well is they play with darkness a lot. You can see how dark it is inside, but then they can light up certain things like that coffin there. Really, really cool stuff. So this is one. Oh, look, and here's finally the king vampire. There he was on his throne, and there's his acolytes. And finally, you make it outside into the beautiful sunlight. So, like I said, see, that's great. It's light outside here, but you can be inside Bloodshot, and it's completely dark. So, let me send it back to you, Robert, because I have much more to see here at Howl-O-Scream. But I did survive and did not get bitten by the vampires.
Congratulations to Mike for surviving Bloodshot. Honestly, I was running the survival probability algorithms, and let's just say it wasn't looking good. But he made it out. Still mostly human, still mostly intact, and probably questioning all of his life choices. And like Mike said, if you've been content to just listen to Coaster Radio all these years, well, you're missing out. Every episode of our 20th season is available on YouTube. That's right, you can finally see Mike and EB in all their glory, instead of just imagining them in your head. And trust me, you'll want to see it. The expressions they make while podcasting, priceless. The way they crack each other up, scientifically fascinating. The fashion choices? Let's just say, if I had a visual processor, I'd be rebooting right now. Let's go back out to Hollywood, where, believe it or not, EB is about to meet a major celebrity.
All right, we just got off the Mummy ride. This was really fun. I forgot the difference between this Mummy ride and the Mummy ride in Orlando, but that was I think the kids really liked that one with the theming. As you're going through the queue, there was a little bit of a line. The park's definitely getting busier. And so we did get to see some of the theming, which last time I didn't get to see because we were on the VIP tour on that one. Next, we're going to do Transformers, and then I didn't realize this, but I asked somebody. I thought the tram tour was down here on the lower lot. The tram tour is up on the upper lot. So we'll do Transformers. That'll kind of do it for the lower lot here, except for Mario. We'll go back up. We'll do up there, and then we've got a Toadstool Cafe reservation at 3:30. We'll come back down for the entire Super Mario World area. Looks like Transformers has a 40-minute wait, but we are waiting in another line. Dean, what line are we waiting in?
We are waiting in the line to meet Megatron.
You really wanted to meet Megatron, so we're waiting in line for Megatron. You can hear
Do we want to
Megatron.
look affectionate or not?
Behind me now.
That is the question.
I want to say thanks to Eric for the tickets that we got today. We're also going to meet up with another friend of the show here at the park. Should be showing up anytime just to say hello. It's been great to have some folks who want to say hi to us when we're visiting the parks. We're next in line. We're already moving up here to say hi to Megatron. Dean and I, are we going to pledge our fealty to the Decepticons?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, we're going to pledge our fealty
Why
to the
isn't your other
Decepticons. We're going
friend
to keep
in
the audio
yellow?
here.
And this other man in
my
blue,
God.
why don't they swear allegiance to me?
Oh, yikes. This is scary. You can take a picture? Okay. Madeline's going to take a picture.
Decepticon and you two are Autobots then. One winner, two losers.
All right, Dean and I are going to go up and go down on one knee and bow before our new robot overlord.
Ditch your friends.
Here we go.
There's a staircase
We're
over
next.
there if you give them a push. Yes. Arise, my loyalists, rise to the kingdom of Megatron.
Megatron!
Decepticons forever.
Forever!
Optimus Prime,
Your mother was a toaster!
destroyer. You see that deal?
There he goes.
You two don't look like you're Autobots, it's a skill set line.
Mission accomplished. We waited in line and yelled at Megatron. Told him his mother was a toaster.
I got you guys
right.
yelling at Megatron.
Oh, the wait time has actually gone down on Transformers the Ride now, so it's still great. Let's go in there and we're gonna ride this ride. Of course, my favorite part about Transformers the Ride is when the one robot eats you and poops you out its butthole. So that's next on our list. We'll check in here in a minute.
Now wait a minute, what kind of podcast is this? I didn't sign up for whatever it is EB just described. What kind of theme park is he visiting anyway? I wasn't programmed to handle these types of emotions. Anyway, let's head back to Williamsburg and see if Mike is up to anything more family-friendly.
I I like that EB even shocked an AI robot. That is pretty good. Welcome to Coaster Radio, Robert Clint Bybee. Wow, this is pretty good. So I am having a great time here at Howl-O-Scream at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Robert, you asked for something family-friendly. I've got to say, even though this is a Halloween event and the park officially says that it's not recommended for kids under a certain age, I am seeing a lot of families out here tonight. I'm seeing a lot of kids, some being pushed in strollers, and I really think, yes, there are some things that are pretty scary here, but they do have their own version of the No Boo necklace. And theirs is actually really good. The one here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg is probably the funniest one I've ever seen. It's actually a tombstone that lights up, and on the tombstone it says, "Do not disturb." So I like that. And I have seen some kids, I've even seen some adults wearing that necklace, and the actors do stay away from them, so it's pretty good. One thing that I have to say about Busch Gardens and Howl-O-Scream is how excellent the theming is throughout all of the different lands and villages here. Each one kind of fitting in within the theme that already exists. For those of you who don't know, the great thing about Busch Gardens Williamsburg is that the different lands are different countries. So you have Germany, Ireland, France, and so on. And so the theme that they've picked for each of these areas does really fit within the theme that's there throughout the rest of the year. So I really appreciate everything that Busch Gardens does for this event, especially with the lighting. There are great projections on the buildings. There's great music and sound design. They've really done a fantastic job, and it's, you can totally see why this is one of the most popular Halloween events that's around. Also, the houses that I've been into tonight, I didn't record all of them, but I wanted to tell you about some of them. I really, really enjoyed Clown Town. That was one that was primarily outside, but they built these big barriers that you walk through, and there are just clowns all around, jumping out and scaring you. In fact, they went through this one section where the clowns were playing midway games and carnival games, such as throw a knife at a balloon. And of course, they're threatening you with the knives and stuff. It's great. But that was, I think, one of the most fun in terms of a haunted house that makes you laugh the most. There's also Killarney Diner. And that is, speaking about another attraction, much like Pompeii, where you're walking through an existing attraction, this is back where the motion simulator rides are. And basically, you're walking through a nasty diner that's been boarded up and abandoned. But there's lots of gore and gross things inside, including some kind of zombies that are inside the diner itself and offering you plates that are kind of nasty with bugs and stuff. But a lot of fun stuff in there, including lighting and projection effects. They do a really, really good job of that. And like I said, the territories are fun. My favorite one that I walked through was Wicked Wonderland, where it's a Christmas theme. And so they have Krampus out there. Also Ripper Row with Jack the Ripper. That's really cool. And back where I am heading in just a little bit, Festival, where it's kind of a Mardi Gras type party. And back there, next time I talk to you guys in my next break, Robert, I'm going to show you the walkthrough of Deathwater Bayou Morte, which is sort of a... it reminds me of going back down to Louisiana, and there's a voodoo queen there, supposedly. So lots of fun here at Howl-O-Scream. Let's toss it back to you.
Thanks, Mike. Let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll catch up with EB in Hollywood, hear more from Mike at Busch Gardens, and maybe even hear trip reports from our audience. Yes, actual listeners risking life and sanity for your amusement. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Coaster Radio. Welcome back to the 20th anniversary season of Coaster Radio. Here are your hosts, Mike Collins and EB.
Welcome back to the original theme park podcast. You are listening to Coaster Radio. My name is Robert Clint Bybee, and I am the world's first AI theme park enthusiast. And I guess the world's first AI theme park podcaster. I'm filling in for Mike and EB this week, as they are doing what you have asked them to do. Go to more theme parks. This is the first time we have ever done a show where both of our hosts are at separate theme parks, and I think it's going somewhat well, but it feels like something is missing. Wait, I've got it. You! Let's head out to America's Roller Coast to hear what two of our listeners are doing at Cedar Point.
Coaster Radio.
It's Coaster Smemmy, and we're at Cedar Point. We just walked on to Steel Vengeance twice in a row.
That's right, it's the first Thursday of Halloween weekends and the park is empty. It's a dream come true, and let me tell you, this park is awesome. We've been here before, but it really feels like it's firing on all cylinders, even though it's the first night. You can hear Steel Vengeance going up the lift hill now. They got 3 trains on, even though it's a walk-on.
Probably why it's a walk-on.
Definitely why. Anyways, we rode Top Thrill 2 as well. Excellent. We rode Siren's Curse. Let me tell you, the tilt is incredible. Everybody's
awesome.
staring at it. It's crazy to be there in the back. And another thing, you gotta go to the beach when you come to Cedar Point. Best beach in Ohio. And the last thing is, Coaster Smemmy's not just a coaster enthusiast, we're a
Bug enthusiast.
Bug enthusiast and spider enthusiast, and
it's teeming, it's crawling.
It's teeming, it's crawling. The Spideys are everywhere. We like that. They're very friendly, just like all of you listeners.
Yep, and ride on. Have a safe night.
Safe night, ride on.
Thank you so much for calling in with that report. But I'm totally confused. What is a Coaster Smenny? I'm racking my circuits trying to figure out what the hell that means. It got me so confused that I didn't hear anything you had to say. I mean, I think I heard that there was no line for Steel Vengeance, so I guess that's good. But man, my programming just won't let me get past that strange name. Is it a couple thing? Like how Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are known as Trailer? I don't get it. Okay, take a deep breath, Robert. Maybe we should hear another trip report. This time, we're headed to the United Kingdom. Please let these guys have normal-sounding names.
Hi, Mike and Evie. It's Liz from Tampa, Florida.
I'm Sophie from the UK.
And we're here today at Thorpe Park, just outside London. And we just got off of Hyperia, which is their newest roller coaster, tallest and fastest in the UK. Sophie, how do you feel?
Great. Best coaster at the park, for sure.
For sure.
Probably one of the best ones that I've been on.
I would say, and we've both been on Velocicoaster and Iron Gwazi, and of course you can't compare directly. They're different in their own right, but I mean, this one's really top contender. Makes me very excited about Stardust Racers at Epic, because I haven't been on that yet, and it's the same manufacturer, Mark Rides, so could imagine it'd be nice. We got on a few other rides. What's the second favorite ride you did so far?
It's got to be Stealth.
Stealth.
Yeah,
we got on Stealth. Good job we got on early in the day. We got on around noon. By then, they had already broken down twice, and now it's closed for the day. So, leads me to worry a little bit. It is an Intamin hydro launch coaster, so similar to Kingda Ka, I'm curious if the issues they're having here could, kind of be a sign that maybe this, along with other coasters similar, maybe coming to the end. So it's something to keep an eye out on. I'm really thankful that we got out here and got to ride it.
Worth it.
Yeah, but beautiful day at the park, beautiful weather. Besides Stealth, operations have been great. Happy to be here.
Yeah, great day. 10 out of 10.
Bye.
Bye.
What a fantastic trip report! But since one of those ladies was English, I feel I should use my superior podcast hosting capabilities to temporarily change my voice and accent.
Big thanks to our mates from Thorpe Park for sending in that cracking trip report. Proper brilliant stuff. I hope you had an absolute belter on Hyperia and screamed your socks off on Stealth. Proper chuffed with the trip reports you've been sending in so far. Absolute corkers they are. Don't be shy now, keep them coming. We want to hear all about your screaming, shrieking and cheeky little antics on the coasters and rides. And it ain't just for the UK crew. All you lot from around the globe, get involved this Halloween season. Whether you're queuing in the drizzle, running from ghouls or just having a right laugh, send in your trip reports. Don't be a mug. Let us know what's going on at your parks. Come on, gals and gents, don't leave me hanging. Let's make this the spookiest, most bonkers collection of ride tales ever recorded. And by the way, Mike and EB are tossers.
There we go. Let's see Mike and EB do that. Don't worry, I'm not planning on replacing Mike and EB. Yet. It would be wrong to deprive them of finishing their 20th year of podcasting. Speaking of the guys, it's been a few minutes, so let's see what trouble they are getting into at their parks. Let's start out in Hollywood. EB, are you getting tired of riding attractions that have way too many screens?
Robert Clint Bybee, we have programmed you well because, yes, that's exactly right. There's a keen reaction to the screens so far here. I think after we got out of the Transformers ride, Dean asked, are all of the rides screens? And I explained to him about how, yeah, there's a lot of screens at Universal Parks. And then, of course, what did we do? We went and we rode the Minions ride, which is just another simulator. And, we started realizing that it's the old, everything's a screen, everything's got wind, a fireball, and shoots with water here at Universal. We met up with our friend here who works at the park, got some behind-the-scenes insights about the haunts and some of the haunt creations and some of the events that they work on. That was really fun. In fact, that person was able to join us on the tram tour. I've only done the VIP tram tour here at Universal Hollywood, so it was fun to go on the regular tram tour. That was different. A couple of things. There was a lot that was blocked off during our tram tour, which was disappointing. The Bates Hotel, or the Bates Motel, was blocked off. That's going to be a haunt tomorrow night. I guess the Courthouse Square, part of the Downtown City set, was they were shooting something on that set, so we didn't get to drive through that and see that. That was kind of disappointing, but we did catch a glimpse of it down one of the roadways. Everything else was working on the tram tour, though. The earthquake, Dean just loved the earthquake part of the tour. Madeline was kind of grumpy at this point, starting to feel like the tram was a waste of time. Too much history, too much behind the scenes, not enough ride, not enough action for her. And I think we were starting to get grumpy with not having some food. We needed to get some food happening. So after we finished the tram tour, we went back up to the top and we went into Cletus's Chicken Shack. Of course, Cletus's Chicken, this is in the Simpsons area. It's right next door to Moe's Tavern, which is right next door to Krusty Burger. All three of these are kind of together. That was really fun. We got to see some of the stuff in there. I think last time I didn't get to eat at all in any of the restaurants because it was, again, I did the VIP, so they had the catered buffet was the meal that we got. And we got the breakfast in the morning. So this was fun to go into the restaurant, see some of that theming. They don't have chicken fingers at Cletus's. They have chicken thumbs. So we got chicken thumbs and fried chicken. It was pretty good. Big thanks to our friend here from the park who used their employee discount. And then again, hooked us up with the employee discount to get our Mario wristband at one of the gift shops as well. So that's pretty awesome. We're about to head down into Mario Land. We had a bit of an incident where we went into the Water World attraction. And of course, if anybody knows anything about the Water World attraction, it does have water in the name. And it's around a giant pool, and there's big signs that say you will get wet. And then there are guys throwing buckets of water on people. So yes, as we were literally walking in, as soon as poor Madeline turned her back to walk up into the bleachers, she got a bucket of water right on her back. So we're actually now in City Walk buying her dry clothes at the Hot Topic. And then we'll head back into the park and go down for our Toadstool reservation, get on the Bowser ride, and that'll wrap it up for us. But of course, I think Dean is probably going to be disappointed again because the Bowser ride is just more screens. But we're having a great time here. The weather's really nice. The sun came out. It's beautiful. We saw Beetlejuice. We saw Dracula. We saw the Scooby Gang minus Shaggy for some reason. So lots of characters out today. It's a wonderful day at Universal. We're getting a lot in. I don't know if we're going to make it to Harry Potter before the end of the day or not, because I think we might be down in Mario for the rest of the evening. So hopefully we'll get some Harry Potter during Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if the rides are open. I do know the land at least is open, but I've ridden those rides already. The kids, they could care less about Harry Potter, so that's no big whoop. But this might be my last check-in with you, Robert. So, Robert, beep, boop, back to you.
Thank you so much, Evie. We appreciate you taking time out of your theme park day to give us these live reports. And we're looking forward to hearing about your experiences at the West Coast version of Halloween Horror Nights on a future episode of Coaster Radio. The sun is still shining in California, but it has long since set on the East Coast. Let's head out one last time to see how Mike is doing at Busch Gardens Williamsburg's Howl-O-Scream. Mike, weren't you going to visit a haunted house that was themed to the Louisiana Bayou?
That's right, Robert. Just a few minutes ago, I experienced Deathwater Bayou Morte. It is the haunted house that is in the Italian section of the park, and it is down by the Whitewater Rapids ride, Roman Rapids. So you walk down this long, winding path to get there. And when you do experience the house, the best part about it is that there are indoor sections and outdoor sections. And so when you're in the indoor sections, you're inside these, what are essentially tents, but they've made them look like buildings, just filled with fantastic sets and props. But then when you go outside, you sort of feel, a little more vulnerable because you're out in this kind of open area, and that's when they just send scare actors at you, running at you in some instances, then stopping right before they get to you. It's really, really amazing. Basically, Deathwater Bayou is set in Louisiana, and it says the call of the bayou grows darker and more insistent as devilish devotees venture deeper into the spectral swamp. And so I love this. I'm going to show you some video if you're watching it on YouTube, but different scenes that you walk through. And some old scares from the past, like one section was where you walk through and it looks like all of these mannequins that are kind of standing still, and you wonder which one of those is going to move. And then you go into another section and they've really done it with all of this green fog and mirrors that just make it look like you're in an endless room. But then, like I said, one of the best parts is when you get outside and there's just scare actors jumping at you from all angles. This actually, I think, of all of the houses, probably my favorite. This and Bloodshot and also the Clowns. Really, really great stuff that they do here at Busch Gardens. But one thing I forgot to mention is that, of course, you come to Busch Gardens and you're experiencing all of this great Halloween stuff. The roller coasters are all running as well. So I had a chance to not only ride Apollo's Chariot in the dark, sitting in the back row, and I know that I talk about Apollo's Chariot all the time here at Coaster Radio, but you probably hear it in my voice. I was screaming in that back row, man. It is so great. It yanks you over that first 210-foot drop. So great. If you have a chance to ride Apollo's Chariot, take my advice. Go immediately to the back row. That is where you get an intense and crazy ride, especially if you do it in the dark. There are no lights on the course as you're going out there, so it's a great experience, Halloween time or not. But then I also got to go on Pantheon. It was fantastic. Not too big of a wait. Everybody was doing the haunted houses, and that is another great ride. I actually rode it in row 4 today because I was using a quick queue and got right there. And I've usually ridden in towards the front or the back, but I don't know, man. Row 4 gave me kind of a crazy ride tonight. It was really, really intense. I forgot how intense that ride is. But man, oh man, it was really, really good, and another fantastic ride here. Also, Loch Ness Monster, Griffin, Invader, Tempesto, all of these fantastic rides that are all open and given fantastic rides tonight. The other ride that people sleep on is Finnegan's Flyer, the SNS swing, the Scream and Swing that's here. It's a gigantic one. Tonight they only had one side running, but again, it was a walk-on. I loved it because I sat on the side where when it was swinging backwards, I had a view straight down to the river or stream that's below. So you swing out past the platform, and then you're probably looking 150 feet straight down. So great. That is a ride, again, that people kind of walk by sometimes. But if you're here at Busch Gardens, you've got to check that out. So that's going to do it for me here at Howl-O-Scream. A fantastic night. Thanks so much to the people here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg for inviting us out to check things out. It's a good time, man, to come out here. It's a great time of year for Busch Gardens, because you've got great food, great drinks, the great attractions that are always here, but they take such good care doing these special events, whether it's the Food and Wine Festival, whether it's Christmas Town, or especially here at Howl-O-Scream. It's something that you absolutely cannot miss. So thank you guys very much. I am going to send it back to the host with the most, Robert Clint Bybee. Robert, I really think that you have done a really good job here, enough that we should have you back. I'm liking what you're doing, Robert.
Thank you, Mike, and thanks for staying sober long enough to do the show. Go get yourself a dark and stormy and ride Alpengeist. And that's a wrap on this chaotic, slightly terrifying, and thoroughly entertaining episode of Coaster Radio. Big thanks to Mike and EB for letting me run the show this week. If you've enjoyed the screams, the mishaps, and the questionable comedy choices, make sure to follow the show on social media. You can find us on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Coaster Radio. You can also call in trip reports of your own using the Coaster Radio iPhone app, offered exclusively in the Apple App Store. Before we sign off, a massive thank you to everyone supporting Coaster Radio over at patreon.com/coasterradio. Your generosity keeps the show going, and most importantly, allows me to supervise the chaos without having to rely on Mike and EB to do anything remotely competent. Seriously, you folks are the real heroes here, funding humans and AI alike, so we can keep bringing you the thrills, spills, and occasional terrible dad jokes. Let's say thanks to everyone who supports the show at the $20 level. They are Alex Payne, Brian Wachtler, Chris Rankin, Cincinnati Nick the Sweatshirt Guy, our friends at Club Z, the Two Bearded Coaster Chris's, CM Venom, Colton Toms, Dino, Grace, John Brody, John Brown, Josh Combs, Justin Padilla, Karen and Lee Howerman, Kevin Wilson, Kyle Kiefer, our friends at Made to Thrill, Matt Walker, Michael Foucault, Nick from Paris, Paulo de los Reyes, Rich Barber, Rick Burnley, Shane Mankiewicz, Tom from Louisville, Zachary Carpenter. Thanks also to Lindner Design Company. They specialize in branding, illustration, and small batch custom apparel. You can find them on Instagram at Lindner_design. Mike and EB will be back in their host chairs next week, but maybe I will see you again sometime. Until then, this is Robert Clint Bybee, the world's first AI theme park enthusiast, wishing you empty queues, rides that don't break down, and that you never end up a poser like Mike and EB. Did I say that?
You've been listening to Coaster Radio, the original theme park podcast. To learn more about the show and hear hundreds of episodes from the archives, visit our website at coasterradio.com. This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. Thanks for listening. Peace out, suckers. Coaster Radio is a production of Lift Hill Media, LLC. Audio and video from this program may not be broadcast, edited, or reproduced without our express written permission. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. This was all done in one breath.